All righty. Let's record. It's never too early to talk about your favorite redraft players because once those rookies get drafted, you know what? It impacts everybody on that offense, whether it's the wide receivers, quarterback, and all that good stuff. But of course, this is level 8 of the Level Up Fantasy podcast. I am your boy Natter alongside the Tip, man. How you doing over there?
Yo, what is up, Natter, man? I'm super excited, man. Super excited for this show because we're bringing on a guy who is not only on Sirius XM, not only with Fantasy Alarm, he's with RFTS News, and he writes for the New York Post. I just read one of his articles, by the way, on the MLB. It was really funny. The Howard Bender is here.
What do you
and you know, look, I brought the salt and pepper. Howard brought all the salt. So we're going to call him Salty Howard for today. And, you know, we got you here, Howard. I appreciate you for being on. I can't wait to get into that brain of yours and talk some fantasy football. I heard that you said you didn't really talk much fantasy football on the show today. Is that right?
No, not today. Yeah, it was kind of we focused on baseball. We did a little PGA DFS. We spun the wheel of randomness. All sorts of fun there on the Fantasy Alarm show. Andrew Cooper, who you guys know, is on with me on Thursdays and Fridays, and we stay nice and focused over there. Actually, this Friday's show coming up, Amon Green is going to join us. So we get to talk running backs with none other than a guy who helped me win a couple of fantasy titles about 20 years ago.
Yeah. Do you know who Amon Green is, first of all, Natter?
Yeah.
Okay,
I know him from Madden and stuff like that. But, I mean, he's like before my time.
Is this a Gen Z podcast here that I'm on? Are we that young?
No. I'm you see the grades. I'm 42. No, I'm not that young.
I'm not that young. Not that young. I wish. No, I'm kidding. So, I mean, on today's episode, we're going to be talking a lot about the redraft players and the players we specifically like. And we're going to be ranking some of the early season running backs. And of course, we're going to be talking about some bold predictions for the end of the year. But right now, of course, Howard, he's a big fish in the music group, Fish Fan Club. Tip, I don't really know too much about this. I'm not in the know fishes. I don't really know how to fish.
I don't even know either a lot about fish, but I know Howard does. He's like if you look at his, I think it's on his, not only on his X post, but even on his Facebook post, he's like standing up, like holding his hands up. Is that at a Fish concert, Howard?
That was Fish at the Sphere. They did a 4-night run over there. Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're a jam band fan, you know, if you grew up listening to the Grateful Dead, Fish kind of, you know, I mean, they've been around now for, my first Fish show was 1989. They came to the college that I was at and played the Sigma Phi House. I remember it like it was yesterday. And so I've been kind of touring around following that band for, 30 plus years right now. It's when you're growing up and you find your people.
Yeah.
That's my people right there.
Those are your people.
The jam band peoples. Those are my people.
So I had no idea that when you meant fish, like you meant a music group. I thought it was literally like fishing. I was about to ask you, really? What's your favorite fish?
Well, you know what? We do have a question for Howard. We're going to start with Howard. And it's so since you are a big fish in the music fan club Fish, we want to know 2 players from last year that you let off the hook in fantasy. In other words, you just didn't want to draft them, and you are now regretting that, and you won't let get away in 2025. Let's start with you, Howard. Who are 2 players?
Well, I mean, it's not filled with a lot of regret, but 2 guys who I bypassed last year that, come, mid-season, you're like, oh, should have. First and foremost, Bo Nix. I love Bo Nix, right? Because, while everybody's investing in the Josh Allens and the Kyler Murrays and going after these mobile QBs, Bo Nix, quietly a mobile QB, was putting it together. And I love Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi. I love the offense that they put together over there. So I didn't have any shares of Bo Nix. And then mid-season, he started to light it up even more. And so I was kind of bummed out about that. I will have plenty of shares of Bo Nix coming into this season. I just love what they've got going on there in Denver right now. And then the other one was Malik Neighbors. I was very skeptical, I guess, because I mean, you look at Malik Neighbors and, you were like, okay, it's going to be volume based. And I don't know what the targets are going to look like. I don't know if they're going to be quality targets at all, but, he was just going a little too high for me to have so much uncertainty with the New York Giants. And then I just saw him target after target, watching him just, coming down with some of these great contested catches. And I was like, yeah, that's probably the way it goes. He's going to be super pricey this year. Yeah. I'm hoping that everybody kind of leans running back early so that maybe in the second round he's available. But I kind of feel like now that you've got Russell Wilson there, or Jameis Winston, I mean, let's face facts, right? Jameis Winston chucking the ball downfield to Malik Neighbors. Like, if Winston was the quarterback for the Giants, the starting QB, I might even push.
Howard, I think he is going to be the starting QB.
You think Jameis is? You don't think it's going to be Russell Wilson? Come on.
Depends. Do they want to win or not?
They don't, but I just think that Russell Wilson, I think that last year we saw he does not have a full season left in him at all.
Well, then
Jameis does.
Is that a hot take?
Malik Neighbors is your third best wide receiver this year.
Yes.
That's a tough one. Do we have a second on, or do we want to go around the horn?
No, we already did. He got his. He got.
Oh, no, yeah, he did. I'm an idiot.
Can you not count, Natter?
No, I can't. Sorry.
All right, go ahead, brother. It's you. You're next.
All right. So, I mean, I had so many chances to get Ladd McConkey last year. I had so many chances, and every single time I said, I don't think so. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. I can't get myself to do it. I had 0 shares of him last year, and I don't see any reason why somebody shouldn't want him this year. I don't think he's asking prices that steep. I don't really think that offense has changed that much to make it so he's irrelevant. If anything, adding another bona fide wide receiver would only help his status. They're still always going to be run first, but I mean, in that division where they're going to have to put up points, Ladd McConkey is always going to be a PPR monster. Wide receiver 12 right now, I would consider him in the 4th round ADP. I think that's a perfect asking price for him.
No, you're right, man. You've been on the Ladd McConkey train. I think almost every episode you've mentioned his name once. So
I don't know about
that's your guy. That's your guy. So we're going. I love Ladd McConkey. I think it's going to work out. I am curious to see the other weapon that they get over there in the draft. But who's your second guy, Natter?
I think I'm gonna have to hop on the Kenneth Walker train. Now, This one is a little bit potentially underrated. I don't know. Like, you know what? I kind of debated just not saying these players, Ladd McConkey and Kenneth Walker, just because I'm like, do I really want people to go on his hype train? Do I really want people to be talking about him? Do I want people putting eyes on that guy? But in all sorts of competition, it's fine. I think Kenneth Walker is a phenomenal running back. I think that offense is built for him specifically. And I just think he is incredibly explosive when healthy and he has the ball in his hands. I don't think there's a better running back that has jump cuts the way he does, the way he kind of shifts from A gap to B gap to C gap to be able to go up the middle or to the outside. Like he can be able to pick up chunk yards where another running back would be tackled for a minimal gain. I really like what he's doing and what that offense is built for him. I want him.
What do you think on that one, Howard?
I mean, I absolutely love that call. There is so much about Kenneth Walker and that Seattle running game right now that I am 100% into. You bring in Clint Kubiak, and what did Clint Kubiak do? He brought in Rick Dennison as his offensive line coach and run game coordinator.
Yes.
For the young folks out there who don't remember way back into the 90s, it was Gary Kubiak, Clint's dad, and Rick Dennison as his offensive line coach that developed this outside zone blocking scheme that really just, and it turned some of the most mediocre running backs. I'm talking like Mike Anderson, Reuben Drowns, Orlandis Gary, like guys that you're just like, who the F are these guys? Right. Then they went over to Houston and they did the same thing to Steve Slayton and Arian Foster. Like these are guys who really weren't highly touted, but you put them into this run scheme. Now you're going to give me Kenneth Walker in this run scheme. And whether Walker gets hurt or not, you wrap them up with Zach Charbonnet. You handcuff the two of them. Natter, I think that's absolutely one of my favorite calls.
I like it, Natter. It's the only thing is, like Howard just said, you've got to handcuff him with Charbonnet because he hasn't been healthy. He's always playing injured. He's always having, and it's a core muscle injury. And I don't have any more core muscle injuries. I don't know. Howard looks a little svelte, like he might have some core muscle.
Howard doesn't have any core muscles.
So I mean,
I just don't have any muscles.
So your core muscles, I mean, that is important in running. That is important in football. That is important in playing sports, your core. So that's the only thing that makes me nervous about him. But other than that, I love the call. Again, you will have to get Zach Charbonnet with him. You've got to. Which
is fine because you're not investing, so to speak, in Kenneth Walker. You're investing in the Seattle running
backfield. Yep.
Yeah, and especially right now. I mean, what would you put Kenneth Walker's ADP in a redraft league? Like 5th, 6th, and even later than that?
Yeah, I think that's a good spot for him. You could possibly later, but I think that's a good spot for him.
I'll be in drafts with me. I'm gonna take him earlier than that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure I land him.
Yeah, right now, if I look on Fantasy Pros, he is RB17.
Oh, that's great.
RB17. Like if an RB gets taken every pick, he's a second round RB.
Yeah.
So with all the wide receivers, the quarterbacks, and now like the Brock Bauer type tight ends incorporated into that, there's no way he's going anything below the second round. It's going to be after the third, probably even later than that, especially at RB17 in the 4th to 5th round. You're going to have to specifically target him if you want him. And honestly, I'm more than comfortable picking a 5th round pick for Kenneth Walker. Give me a Ladd McConkey, give me a Kenneth Walker right there in that sandwich. I'm leaving the draft pretty happy.
Yeah. Yeah, I like them all. All of these have been really good players, pickups. Like these are people that we need to start being aware of. And we talked about the Seattle team, and I'm going to talk about JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba, the teammate of Kenneth Walker. Look, last year I was off on him. I was off on him his rookie year. I was like, I don't know if I want to touch him. Any of those Ohio State rookies, I was actually going after Chris Olave. Well, my tone has changed completely. It's done a 180 with that. I am now saying JSN is the guy that I want. And with him having Cooper Kupp over there, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Cooper Kupp. I understand that Cooper Kupp is there and he will take targets away from him. But look at what he had DK Metcalf last year. DK Metcalf had to play through injuries. JSN's continue to play. Cooper Kupp may have to play through injuries. JSN is going to be locked and loaded as the number 1 wide receiver on that offense. Last year, he had 8 games with over 8 targets. So I feel like this is going to be a situation where it's going to get into the double digits with him having more than 8 targets. And when he gets targets in bunches, he catches those passes and he does work. So I'm going with JSN. I think that was a guy that I heavily missed on last year. I had no shares of him. Another guy that I had no shares of last year because I was just out on him was James Cook. And him coming off of an 1,100-yard season in 2023, I was like, yeah, it's up and up, but he doesn't score enough touchdowns for me. So what does he go out there and do? He scores 18 freaking touchdowns. And when he scores all those touchdowns, I look like an idiot because I'm over here like, yeah, what's he going to do when he gets to the 1-yard line? Josh Allen's going to score the touchdown. Well, Josh Allen did score some touchdowns, but James Cook scored a ton of them. Now, look, I don't think he's going to – look, the touchdown regression, that is the notion this year. He's not going to score 18 touchdowns. But, damn, if he gets 12, I'm still happy if he can get over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns. So I'm all in on James Cook, and I'm all in on Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Yeah, I would say my biggest gripe on Jackson Smith-Njigba is that if he does well, that means, Kenneth Walker doesn't. So, it's just I can't have that now, can I?
There's room for all of us to eat, my friend.
I don't know.
Yeah, there is not. And one thing, too, I'm going to say about Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is going to make this offense so much better with his blocking, with his, the way that his craftiness, he's going to make this offense so much better. Not necessarily for him on the fantasy aspect, even though I think he'll still be good in fantasy. But I think that for the other players like Kenneth Walker or the run game in general, and for Jackson Smith-Njigba, he's going to help with those blocking, and he's a hell of a blocker. So I think it's still some good stuff from Cooper Kupp.
So right before we throw it back to Howard, Chip, remember last year?
Oof.
You traded.
Man, I can't remember last week.
That's a fair point. I don't blame you. Last year, you traded to, I forgot what's his name. Oh shoot, I'm really mad I can't remember his name.
Steezy in our
There we go.
league. Yep.
You traded
Yeah.
Devontae Adams. You traded for Devontae Adams,
Yes.
and you gave up Taysom Hill and Jackson Smith and Jigba.
I did.
And we roasted him so hard for making that trade
did.
because we all thought he got absolutely fleeced.
You did.
And I mean, comes out, it must have been karma because no, you were the one that got fleeced in that trade.
I was disappointed that I forgot. I did have draft him in that. And that was one league I did draft him. I was so disappointed. I was like, I can't wait to get him off my team. I didn't want him. And then when Steezy put out there that, Devontae Adams, I was like, yeah, I'm a Raiders fan. Easy. Like, give me Devontae Adams, and here goes JSN. And oh man, I didn't
let him hear the end of that.
Yeah, you did.
And
as a Jets fan, I'm still a little scarred from the whole
just as embarrassing
Adams situation.
I don't know what's worse, being a Raiders fan or a Jets fan.
It's definitely worse being a Jets fan.
Is it worse than being a Giants fan?
Being a Jets fan is without a doubt the worst team you could possibly be.
I don't know. You could be the Browns.
Yeah. Point well taken.
Yeah.
Point well taken.
Yeah, you could be. I can't imagine waking up in the morning and be like, "Yeah, I like the Browns."
Dude, I can't imagine waking up in the morning and saying anything positive about Cleveland.
We wake up in the morning and everybody takes a Brown. So.
Right, which is the equivalent of the team.
Yeah, I mean, they can't even turn on their faucet and get clean drinking water.
All right,
not unless a football.
Before we go way off the hinges, let's get to segment 2. And look, it's called "Did I Stutter?" Howard got it right away. Hopefully, your Office fans, you guys get it. Natter, just watch The Office, bro.
I don't want why.
Well, you say, just watch it. It's a great show.
I watched like 2 episodes of it, and the problem is it's awkward humor. It's like, they pan the camera right in front of your face, and then like it's just awkward. I don't know. I feel the secondhand cringe from it, and I don't know.
Well, one of my favorite episodes is "Did I Stutter?" And so I want you, starting with Howard, to give me 2 statements, whatever statements you want to say for fantasy football in 2025, and don't stutter. Go ahead.
Well, the funny thing about this is that, I wanted to make sure I was prepared for the show. You had sent me over the show sheet, so I was taking a look at it, and I wrote my answers down. And I kid you not, my first answer to this question of did I stutter is investing in the Seattle Seahawks backfield will win you a fantasy championship.
Wow.
Great minds think alike.
I like it. Okay.
Which means we're both wrong. Let's go.
Neither one of us are going to be wrong. I'm telling you, just invest in that Seattle backfield. You're going to be so happy you did.
There we go.
My second statement is Evan Engram will lead all tight ends in targets in 2025.
Okay, what's that gonna net him as far as finish for tight end for you?
I mean, he'll finish as a top 3 fantasy tight end. He will. Listen, Brock Bowers gets a ton of targets. Trey McBride gets a ton of targets. Then all of a sudden, when you start looking through it, and, we talked last year that the top 5 at the tight end position was Bowers, was McBride, was Kelsey, was Kincaid. And I don't even remember who the 5th schmuck was because he sucked in comparison to everything else. So, the tight end position is very, very interesting in that realm. What I love about this is that if you look at the offensive scheme that the Broncos run and what Sean Payton and Joe Lombardi have done is the infamous Joker role. And there are some people who know the Joker role, some people who don't. If you don't know what the Joker role is, Joe Lombardi likes having a tight end or running back. It's a non-wide receiver who can line up like a wide receiver, run crisp routes, has good, strong hands, and can be a big-bodied target for the quarterback. So, you've got Cortland Sutton as the X receiver. I don't know. Is Marvin Mims the Z? Are they going to bring somebody in through the draft? I don't know. But what I do know is that they brought in Evan Engram to play that Joker role that Joe Lombardi likes. And the last time they had like a really good, strong pass catching tight end as in their Joker role, it was Jimmy Graham. And from 2011 through 2014,
Yes.
those 4 seasons, Jimmy Graham was either first or second in overall targets. So
Right.
I am 100% in on Evan Engram in that Joker role. I'm going to pair him up with Bo Nix, a crap load this year in fantasy. And Kenneth Walker will be in my backfield. And I'll be winning fantasy championships, and I ain't stuttering.
There it is.
There we go. So, I mean, Tib, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I could go ahead and go.
Yeah, please.
So for me, the key to winning your fantasy football championships is draft Bijan Robinson. It is that is it. That is it, guys. You draft Bijan Robinson. You follow that up with the Seattle Seahawks running back. You are going to have yourself a tremendous year. This guy, we'll talk a little bit more about Bijan Robinson, so I'm going to save that for later. But just go ahead and draft him. That's it. And then my second statement is, if you're in a redraft league, go ahead and you can do 0 RB, you can do hero RB, that's fine. But if you're in a a dynasty league, you better invest heavily in these running backs, because you got several running backs last year. You got 8 teams that ran the ball 28 times or more last year. And look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did. They ran the ball 36 times a game. Why not? I mean, you got Saquon Barkley there, and you got a massive offensive line who lost Mekhi Becton, by the way. So a little bit, but nonetheless, you want to invest in these running backs. So I'm going heavy, if I'm in a dynasty league, on a running backs first. So that's just my little tidbit. If you're in a redraft, go ahead and do the hero RB or 0 RB. That should be fine. But if you're in dynasty, go heavy on those running backs early.
I've always been a heavy RB guy. Always been a heavy. I feel like it's just a safer fantasy draft strategy, especially if you just want to put up I guess in a half point PPR, 120 points a week. If you're able to do that, chances are you're making playoffs. Whether you win the championship after that, if one of the wide receiver hits, quarterback hits, and all that good stuff, then you're sitting pretty. I think I might go personally a little bit more wide receiver heavy a little bit this year. I don't know, Howard. How do you feel about that real fast?
I mean, I'm not going to push up running back values absolutely crazy, because I kind of want people to invest in their wide receivers early. For me, Jamar Chase is the 1-1 no matter what. That's a guy who, what his role is in the offense, his relationship, but when you go down there and you start looking at other wide receivers, they're obviously also quarterback dependent. They're also very scheme dependent. If you've got a good solid running back in a strong system, I mean, that is definitely the bread and butter. I am all about locking in running backs. I don't mind grabbing a wide receiver early, but you bet your ass I'm walking out of any draft with at least 3 starting running backs, right? It'll be Bijan first, then I'll take some Kenneth Walker, and then after that, I'm sure that everybody's going to leave me Najee Harris. So I'll happily take that as my third running back. That'll probably be the trio of backs I'll be most heavily invested in this year.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair point right there, especially with wide receivers being so volatile and being so quarterback dependent. If quarterback gets hurt, quarterback has a bad game, then, oh God, the stinkers hurt, especially when you have a huge investment in them. Those stinkers hurt. Now, a running back stinker does hurt, but at least they can put up 6-7 points to at least recuperate some fantasy value. Now, I guess, did I not stutter or did I stutter? Didn't watch the episode, wouldn't know. Jayden Daniels finishing quarterback 1. I think his rushing value and the division more specifically that he plays in gives him a huge chance to succeed compared to the other quarterbacks. For example, Lamar Jackson, he has difficult matchups every single time he plays in the division. Yes, he could overcome it, but man, is it a lot nicer when Jayden Daniels is playing against the Giants or when he's playing against a depleted Cowboys secondary. And you know what? He has one difficult matchup against the Eagles, but both times last year, he kind of torched them. So I'm not even that worried about that matchup. Jayden Daniels, I think he is a safe pick in an ADP that you're not paying a hefty price for it. You're probably paying a 4th to 5th rounder for it. I mean, yeah, it is a little bit hefty, but for what he's able to produce, I think that more than elevates that draft status.
Yeah, I like it.
The second one, I don't really have like the hottest and more definite take for it. I couldn't think of a really, really good one. And I feel like you guys kind of already touched on the other one. So I feel like I kind of got stumped there. I think the nicest one I could say, or the safest, did I not stutter or did I stutter?
Well, you're
Would be-
stuttering in this case.
Oh yeah, you're,
I know.
you're stuttering and stammering right now.
Yeah,
Eric.
hey, stop it, guys.
Stuttering Stanley. Stuttering Stanley.
Guys, stop. I'm fragile. Stop. I'm sensitive.
Oh, what was that? Flatliners?
No, that was what is it? I see dead people. Sixth Sense.
Oh, Sixth Sense. Yes,
Yeah.
there it was. I knew it had to do with dead people.
All right.
What?
That,
Is that
no,
another one?
Flatliners is another. No. Oh my God.
Is that another reference that I don't know about?
Flatliners. It's okay.
Have you never seen The Sixth Sense?
No, is that a movie?
Yeah, he was dead the whole time. Spoiler alert.
Oh.
Is that a horror movie?
No, I mean
Not really. It's
No, yeah, it's
suspense.
not really.
Suspenseful.
Bruce
Really.
Willis, Haley Joel Osment,
Yes.
I See Dead People. No,
You
you didn't catch
gotta
any of that.
watch
Ah,
it.
I don't know. No.
Oh
No.
my God.
If-
Natter.
Man, you need some pop culture in your life now.
And wait,
I don't have
wait.
much.
And Howard, he loves popcorn. He was just eating popcorn. Toward
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
I do. I got some right here. I got
Oh my
that. Is that
God.
good enough? Is that good enough?
That's like
for
the
you?
ultimate
No.
movie snack, and you don't even watch movies.
Yeah, I just like eat popcorn when I'm like doing
and I
nothing.
hate popcorn. And
You know what? John and Pemba's like that over at Fantasy Alarm. We call him Vanilla Bean because he's so like, I mean, he doesn't use condiments on burgers or
Oh,
dogs.
I thought you were gonna say something else there.
Yeah, I was-
Oh no. He doesn't use condiments on his burgers or dogs. His last name is
Wow.
Impemba, and he's never seen The Godfather.
oh
Like,
my
come
God.
on.
Oh. Okay.
So Natter, I've got your buddy over at Fantasy Alarm. You guys can hang out together and not get any pop culture reference the rest of us use.
I mean, who's losing at that point? Like, who needs ketchup and mustard on a hot dog on a glizzy?
Oh my
Like,
God.
we going
that
dry.
is- Oh no.
I'm gonna do the same thing now. You know, like, I don't need ketchup. That's like it's you know what it is. That's eating meat in an easy mode. It's like putting barbecue sauce on a steak. Like you don't do that.
Oh my God. All right.
That's
Wow.
pretty cool that you actually think like a hot dog is real meat. Awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Sure,
Yeah,
of
it
course.
Yeah, it is. Come
There are
on.
no rat toenails in there at all.
That's extra flavor. Come on, like it's a delicacy.
These are rat toenails.
Come
Ew.
on, like-
God.
God.
All right. All right, let's get to segment 3. So segment 3 is it's going to take all 3 of us. All right, so we got to team up here. But
Oh,
you know,
God.
sometimes in teams, sometimes you'll have some discussions or some debates, or you know what, we'll rally together and become a team. So we're gonna
not doing
pick the top 4 running backs. I said top 5, but I think we can all agree Bijan Robinson's the number 1. So let's just
that. No.
go ahead and put them there,
Yeah.
and then
No.
we can go.
No, who's the top? Who's
Yeah.
I need to know.
Saquon.
Stop!
Saquon.
Nutter, no.
Saquon. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
my
Saquon.
The curse of 370. We talked about that, Natter.
And I don't believe it.
You don't believe it.
I don't believe in the curse of 370.
Okay, so why would you have Saquon Barkley ahead of Bijan Robinson?
He's better than him. The dude did a 360
Oh,
no scope jump behind the back over a defender, and you're sitting here telling me like Bijan's better than it. No,
Bijan has an upgrade in quarterback play,
not really.
offensive line and the latter part.
My
of
bad. The Eagles'
last
offensive line
season-
is poor.
No, it's a good offensive line. I'm not saying that,
It's
but
like
I'm
great.
just saying Bijan has a good offensive line. He also has a offensive coordinator in Zach Robinson, who started to figure this thing out towards the end of the season last year. And I think that this is a situation for Bijan Robinson. I think he will break fantasy football. I predicted it last year. I was wrong, but I will say this year, this is the year. I was a year off.
No.
See,
Saquon.
I love Saquon. I really do.
I did.
I always have a thing though where a guy busts out and has that breakout season. You have to ask yourself,
right.
you know, is he plateauing in this spot? Is he going upwards? You know, is the trajectory pointing up, or is there nowhere to go but down? And I think that's, you know, they are shuffling some guys off the offensive line there. I think one of the key factors that I think a lot of people kind of forget is that they broke down the entire defense.
Yeah.
And one of the things, running the football is a luxury of the winning team. And one of the reasons why they were so easily able to hand the ball off to Saquon is because their offense was fantastic, right? Jalen Hurts is rock solid. A.J. Brown looked good. Devonta Smith, when he finally started to wake up a little bit. So they were winning games, but their defense was just constantly, holding the score down, the opponent down. And so you could just run Saquon 35 times, 36 times in a game. With the way the defense kind of looks right now, and I'm sure that, I'll give Vic Fangio a little bit of extra time to kind of rebuild it. I just don't know if he's going to see the same volume that he did see last year because of that aspect.
Right.
So my only, I don't necessarily disagree with those takes and those points. My only rebuttal to that would be, no, he didn't necessarily break out. He just finally found a team in his system that allowed him to flourish the way he's supposed to. Like he was more than capable of doing this on the Giants. The Giants were just holding him back, and he was having flashes. And he had over 1,000 yards, 1,200 yard seasons with the Giants. But now he went on a team that's more capable and can comprehend and allow him to do what he does. And you saw it. You saw almost 2,000 yards rushing, a 360 no scope jumping over a defender. And then all those touchdowns that got taken away from him on the 1 yard line. I mean, he was so productive. While having something go against him like that, then you know what? I will gladly allow him to be my 101.
Yeah, Natter, but you said those touchdowns are getting vultured away from him. If they do decide to keep the tush push, which I haven't heard anything saying that they're not,
they probably will.
So that is gonna that's something that I was telling myself last year about Saquon. I was like, man, he's gonna get those 1 yard touchdowns down. They're not gonna do the tush push, and they continuously did it over and over and over ad nauseum. So that's a situation that I feel like that hurts Saquon Barkley a little bit, because they're going to do the same thing next year with Michael Penix Jr. He's not going to be running the tush push. Like, he doesn't have freaking horse quads. Like he doesn't have what Jalen Hurts has. And Bijan Robinson will get those 1 yard. Yeah, Tyler Algier might vulture them, but I think it's going to be Bijan Robinson. Howard says Bijan Robinson. You're outvoted, Natter. So we're gonna move on. So who's number 2?
I'm still stuck on horse quads. What?
Yeah, horse quads was an interesting one there.
Yeah, how do you know what that's like?
I don't know, but dibs on that is my new band's name. We're just going in as horse quads.
Look at Jalen. He squats like 8,000 pounds, so he's got horse quads.
A horse quads.
I don't know.
He doesn't squat 8,000 pounds.
No, he squats 600 pounds.
Horse quads.
He squats 600 pounds. To me, that's 8,000 because I can't squat anything close to that.
Like Tyler Algier isn't a guy anyway.
Well, then how about we just say that Saquon Barkley and Bijan Robinson are 1 and 2?
1 and 2. All right.
1 and 2. You pick the order that you want for those two guys. It's 1 and 2.
There we go. I can deal with that. So who's number 3?
Oh,
I'm gonna let Howard go.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a couple of really good names in there. I mean, I would love to get really super bold and say Kenneth Walker, but I won't because of the injury history there. I don't really see a reason why you turn down Derrick Henry. How many times have we turned around and said, "Oh, he can't keep up this kind of volume. Oh, he can't do this. Oh, he can't do that." And yet, time and time again, Derrick Henry just continues to plow through. And having a guy like Lamar Jackson and the running threat that he is, I think that just makes it a little bit easier. You run an RPO and you just flip it back to Derrick Henry, who's getting like a full head of steam. So I'm not a huge Derrick Henry, truther out there, but I ignore he doesn't catch passes. Right. And I just look for the fact that Baltimore, who really doesn't want Lamar Jackson to run as often as he does, I think they're going to continue to lean on Derrick Henry. So, I mean, until he shows me that he's soft and he can't take a hit or anything like that, I'm just going to keep locking him down there.
Yeah, it's just, when is that time going to come? We just don't know. It's so scary because it's going to be a matter of time before he just can't do it anymore. And it didn't show last year. Last year, it looked like he was trending upward again. So it's like, it's crazy, but we do know that time's coming. I'm cool with him being number 3, Natter. I really am, because he's done it for so long. Everything that Howard just said, I'm cool with him being number 3. It's just, you got to have a contingency plan. You have to. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm gonna go with Derrick Henry and he'd be my running back for the next few rounds." You're gonna have to have some type of plan.
I want to hear Natter's number 3 because it sounds like it could be Bijan Robinson, which means then you want to know who his number 2 is.
See, that's some 3D chess right there. My first question is, if Jalen Hurts has horse quads, what does Derrick Henry have?
He has. Well, he's more of a gazelle, or what? No, not a gazelle. A wildebeest. Wildebeest quads. There we go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got some girthy quads. That's all I got to say.
Oh, God. All right, Natter, it was your number 3. You said that girthy word again, dude.
I mean, I really want to say Derrick Henry. I was going to go personally Jahmyr Gibbs. I just felt like the receiving value that he adds on a team that I expect to win 12 plus games on a division that I think is relatively
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's set up in a better position to succeed rather than Derrick Henry is consistently going to be going against. Well, the Bengals, they're a little weak right now.
Yeah.
The Browns and the Steelers. Sorry, I was about to say Ravens. I wanted the receiving value upside that he provided rather than the rushing upside that Derrick Henry provided. But see, I am more willing to lean on to Derrick Henry as number 3 than I was as Bijan as number 1. So I'm okay with it.
Okay. All right. So number 4, we all agree it's probably going to be Jahmyr Gibbs, even though David Montgomery is there.
Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's.
We all have the same top 4 right there.
We have the same top 4.
4 is a weird number. Let's go 5.
Let's go 5.
I think we just need one more. I feel like there's a lot more room for debate on this one.
All right, Tip, you're up. Who's number 5 on your list?
I keep looking at this guy. This is a guy I almost talked about in the first segment of players I was out on last year. It's Devon Achane. There's no more Raheem Mostert. Yeah, they have Jalen Wright there. I get it. But what are they going to do in the draft? Because there's a ton of running backs out there. They're probably going to do something. But this kid keeps getting the ball in crucial situations and situations that put him in successful positions. Because it's Mike McDaniel, it's Tua. As long as Tua can stay healthy, I like Devon Achane. I'm getting back on the bandwagon with this guy. I loved him his rookie year. I was kind of off of him last year, and I'm back to loving him again because the way they utilize him is it's perfect for fantasy football. It's pretty to watch, but it's like when you see a stat line. It's so efficient, but it's like he's that type of player. He get with the ball in his hands. He knows how to find the holes. He has great vision, and he's not afraid to do a little bit of running through some people, even though he has a smaller frame. But I think that Devon Achane is a guy for me at number 5. I'm willing to do it.
Howard, what do you think?
He's not my number 5.
I wasn't going to go either.
And you have to look at the game log without Tua. And I mean, it's disgusting, and I don't know if it's just because they didn't like, who their backups were, or whatever, but it just seemed like that was kind of a tough spot for Achane. I also know, Mike McDaniel, he likes to, rotate backs in. I don't know if, Jalen Wright is really going to, turn it up. I mean, I'm glad Raheem Mostert's out of the situation now, but yeah, I worry about that. Again, would love to go Walker, but I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at with Ashton Genty?
Oh, I was about to bring his name up.
I want to see where he falls. I really want to see where he falls. If he falls to my Raiders, I will say this: Pete Carroll, Chip Kelly. I think the offensive line gets fixed this year. I think that he has a chance to light it up in a team like that. If he goes to the Cowboys. So it's all predicated on who he goes for. I know a lot of people are saying that he's team proof, like he's just that good, but not really. This is the NFL, people. Like it's going to be different. He will have his plays, but it all is predicated on where he falls for me.
I feel like there are 3 landing spots that we know the most, right? It's the Raiders at what is it, 6 or 7 that 6. They pick. Mm-hmm. The Denver Broncos are in dire need of a running back as well as the Cowboys as well.
Yeah.
So I think he lands with one of those 3 spots, and in any one of those 3 spots, I think he does excel. I mean, is the only thing that Pete Carroll loves more than chomping on gum is running the football.
The gum murderer,
right?
And he's abandoning his team.
and abandoned. Oh, come on. You know, Pete's been done dirty in his career too. So I remember my Jets fired Pete Carroll from for going 0-5 for the last in his last year as the Jets coach, and then they went and hired Richie Kotite, who went 0-7 for the last 7 games for a much better Eagles team. So Pete Carroll's been done dirty, but
He has.
I think, you know, I agree. I think the offensive line gets a little bit more of an improvement. You know, it wasn't bad last year. I mean, they did have some struggles. DJ Glaze is terrible, right? But, you know, that's more about his pass blocking and you know, QB protection than it really was about running the football. And I think if you put a guy like Ashton Genty into this offense, they have to focus on him.
Yeah.
So I kind of like him at the 5th spot.
Okay, Natter, how do you feel about Ashton?
I thought I was gonna be so slick.
Oh, you.
I thought I was gonna be so slick, just being like, "Yeah, guys, remember Ashton Genty is about to get drafted," and I was gonna be like, "Yeah, if he goes to like the Cowboys or something like that, you know, I'm just gonna put him on the 5th slot."
Well, I would kill myself if he goes to the Cowboys because my co-host Jim Bowden is like that typical Cowboys homer fan. And like,
person.
and he drives me insane with the talk on the show sometimes. So if Genty goes to Dallas, you will hear about my demise. Right? It will be announced.
Almost as bad as being a Raiders fan. Just Cowboy, it's just right up there. Oh my God, that's not quite as bad as being a Browns fan. I'm just gonna say that. Let's put that out there, bro.
Just keep saying that.
It's pretty bad. I'm sorry.
All right.
The Browns. So, actually, not really. It's fun.
Not really. Yeah, not me neither.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's been a great show, Natter. Thank you, Howard. Many thank yous. Howard, tell everybody again where we can find all of your great work.
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me here. It was great to hang with you guys for sure. I'm gonna have to get you guys onto the show with me on Sirius XM.
Hey,
we can kind of bandy this about here, right? We can also make fun of Coop at the same time.
Oh yeah, Oh yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Absolutely.
You guys can find me on social media at RotoBuzzGuy, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. I'm at The Real RotoBuzzGuy on TikTok. Going to be doing more videos over there. You can find all my work over at fantasyalarm.com. You can find some work on rtsports.com. I do a little something called the Weekly Bender over there. And of course, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And I think that and I'm in the New York Post as well. I do fantasy baseball and fantasy football for the New York Post. So you can catch those articles every weekend.
God, that's a lot. I can't even count that high.
We know because you can count the 2. So we know.
Fine. I mean, I guess. Well, Tip, where can everybody find you?
So Football Guys, I've written some articles over there with them. So I'm one of the staff writers. And now I'm also working with Odds Checkers, staff writing with them and doing some videos. So you can actually check my video work out on TikTok. Check it out. You can see me on Odds Checker. Giving you some little tidbits for the upcoming NFL season, and I'm actually starting to work on some betting content right now too. So keep looking out for that.
I mean, I would tell you guys to follow me, but like I did something over the weekend on one of my Twitter accounts, and yeah, you guys, I don't need you guys looking at it. It was one of my best troll jobs. Like it's something I was pretty proud of.
Now I need to know here. Now I'm going to it. Where's
it's a burner account. Yeah, that's why.
Oh wow.
Burner. What's the handle? What am I looking for?
I can't tell people.
You can't tell anybody.
Yeah. It's not good.
All right. I look forward to you sending me sliding into my DMs there now.
I will. I'll be asking for the feet pics.
But
other than that, hey, good luck, everybody.
Peace.